Hey there, this is Rabbi Blake. How's everyone doing? It's January 20th, Friday, which means I can wish everyone a Happy New Year if you haven't heard those words yet. And this week we're discussing a Torah portion. That is, after all, what I do. I read and study the Torah, and I find little messages that are embedded in this very ancient story that have something to offer us living in our very modern world. And this week's portion, called Va'era, is all about the wicked Pharaoh of Egypt who refused to let the Hebrew slaves go free. Only through a very severe means of persuasion does the Pharaoh finally relent, and those, of course, are the 10 plagues. But even then, after every one of the plagues except for the very, very last, the Pharaoh refuses to let the people go. And the story reports that the reason is because Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Pharaoh hardened his heart against letting the people go. Well, what does this have to do with us? I know that many of us think that Pharaoh is this kind of hyperbolic, outsized, evil character, and of course a wicked tyrant would have a hardened heart. But in fact, if you look elsewhere in the Hebrew Bible, you discover that cautions are given about the dangers of having a heart that is too hard. And they're not given to pharaohs. They're given to people like you and me. Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 7 actually says, "Do not harden your heart against a person who is destitute and needy. Instead, open your hand and assist that person." So all of us need to work, I think, on softening our hearts just a little bit. And there are lots of ways of doing that. First of all, many of us are people who think that we can just go it alone in life and that we are independent and strong and that that is a virtue. But in fact, we all need help. As you know, I've been recovering from an ankle fracture, and I've needed a lot of help around the office lately. As I'm going to call Ethan Blitzstein over. Ethan's been working here at Westchester Reformed Temple as an intern. Ethan is a 10th grader in a confirmation class. Ethan, you can wave to all the nice people out there in internet land. Okay, thanks, Ethan.
Yeah.
And there are lots of other ways that we can work against the very real possibility of developing a heart that is too hard. This is a tough world, and I think it's very easy to get a hardened heart like Pharaoh did. We can cultivate ease in our lives through building relationships, through being part of a spiritual community, through meditation, breathing, and yoga. These are techniques that I've used to find softness when it's all too easy to become a little bit too hard to our environments and to the people in our lives. So I'm going to wish us a week to come in which we are practicing the discipline of having an open and a softer heart. I'll say Shabbat Shalom. I hope everybody's weekend is meaningful and bright.